Use this phone more than a few times to record anything. Hey, Dad. So, we're all here in New York at the motel. It's Queens, actually, in Astoria, near the NQ. Rebecca's off getting batteries for something. Sean's in his room doing whatever Sean does. And, you're out getting some food. Me? Well, I'm supposed to be getting ready to break into some offices in the financial district. Feels just like prepping for one of your old training drills, actually. 10 years go by, and then you show up, and it's like I was never gone, and we're right back to the ball busting and the conspiracies and the paranoia. Only this time, I believe you. I believe every word. You know, I don't even think you know the half of it. I don't think you know how much I've seen. How much I've learned in just a few weeks. Everything, really. I feel like I've lived 1,000 years, or 10,000 maybe. It's impossible to explain. But when you see that much of the world through the eyes of so many, you can't help but be sad. To see all these incredible, intelligent people fight the same battles, make the same mistakes over and over again. Because culture and knowledge and history, these things, they aren't passed on through our genes. Every kid on Earth needs to relearn the basics. How to live, how to survive, how to stand up for what's right. So much is lost in the transfer. So much is added every generation. It's a shame. I mean, over and over, everything must be learned again. I met Clay, Dad. Clay Gesmerick, in the Animus. I knew him by his Abstergo handle, Subject 16. My predecessor. And he showed me things. Passed them to me just before he died, or got deleted, or whatever. Everything he'd learned, everything he'd seen. God, how do I talk about this? So, guess you trained him. Huh? After I left, he really looked up to you, and now that I've seen through his eyes, I think I understand why. I'm glad you had him around, even if I wasn't there. The things he showed me. Unbelievable things. And I never... Shit. Alright, I'll back in a second.
Our initial research into the life of Ratana Gaydon focused on a period spanning his late teens to his early 30s, but our researchers came away unimpressed by his calm and stoic demeanor, with occasional flashes of extreme anger. This was not the sort of leading man we felt comfortable endorsing. We decided, therefore, to delve into his early childhood, with the hope that scenes of pre-colonial America might hold some appeal. As you can see here, there is a certain naive charm and innocence to this young boy. Unfortunately, our researchers found this young man's story deeply problematic as well. For one, the omnipresence of the Mohawk culture lacks the balance necessary to tell the true story of America. And secondly, the Mohawk language would certainly be an issue for most of our audience. We therefore feel that although Ratana Tankon's early life would be of some interest to our more educated viewers, it's unlikely that his story would appeal on a broader scale, being too foreign, as it were, to normal audiences. Our team recommends we pass on this property.
Hey, Dad. It's funny. I have this memory of you, one I keep coming back to, and I always think about it when I'm working or just before going to bed, because it sort of calms me, I guess. I was 14, I think, and you were trying to teach me how to walk with a light step. Remember that? How to be mindful of how much noise I made when I moved around. Simple stuff. Stuff I understand now, but back then, I gotta tell you, I thought you were just being an asshole. You told me you were gonna go up to your room and sit with your back to the door and read a book. And you wanted me to wait at least 15 minutes and then sneak up there and tap you on the shoulder without you knowing. I even remember the book you were reading at the time, the one by Captain Johnson. And you warned me that if you caught me, we'd have to start all over. Then you went upstairs. And I waited. I waited, and I waited, and I waited. I waited 4 hours before deciding to go up. And even then, it took me 20 minutes to get to the foot of the stairs. And another 30 to get up them. And then 10 to get down the hall, and there I was at the door and peeked into your room. And I was so hoping that you'd be asleep. But no, you were still reading. And I just about shit myself. But 10 minutes later, I was just 5 feet away from you. that's when I remember setting my foot down, and you flinched. Ever so slightly. You flinched. I thought maybe I'd imagined it, but I knew you'd heard me. You didn't say anything. You just checked your watch, you reached for your drink, you took a sip, and then you kept reading. But I knew I'd failed. You didn't say anything. I didn't understand why. Then I lunged and tapped you on the shoulder, and you turned around, and oh, fantastic, you said, and you scooped me up, and you gave me a big hug, and I didn't say anything. But Dad, I was so pissed off. I wanted to scream at you. I failed, and you knew it, but you said nothing. And I stayed mad for weeks. I thought you were patronizing me. Thought maybe you decided right there that I was never going to be the man you wanted me to be. But I realized just a few years ago that you checking your watch, that was the clue, wasn't it? You let me win because I had been so patient. I guess that impressed you. You know, maybe at that moment you thought it might be better to be my dad instead of my mentor. I don't really know. Maybe for you they're one and the same. You know, either way, I'm happy to know that both my mentor and my dad are looking out for me that day. I didn't understand that then. I think I do now.
Initial reports gave us hope that Enzio Auditore would serve as an ideal candidate for future Abstergo projects. His charisma, magnetism, and wry humor gave him all the qualities of a leading man. However, his corruption by the Assassin Order robbed him of these qualities as he fell deeper and deeper into a spiral of revenge. Enzio was frequently known to articulate a passive acceptance of evil. He was also a man of ugly contradictions, one who preached free thought, yet traveled well beyond his home country to proselytize his corrupted creed, just as he's doing here with this impressionable Chinese girl. Notice, too, that in his gestures and bearing there is still something of the old lecher in him. Enzio's entire personality is built around pure demagoguery, claiming his philosophy is about love when violence and coercion are his primary means of tackling problems. We have therefore come to the conclusion that Enzio Auditore da Firenze would be a risky character to develop.
I have now resumed the practice of dressing as a man, and have put off my woman's dress.
Why did you take it? Who made you take it?
I took it of my own free will, with no constraint. I prefer a man's dress to a woman's.
You made an oath, Jeanne. You swore to never again dress as a man.
I never meant to swear that I would not resume the practice.
Why have you done so?
Because it is more lawful and suitable for me to return to the practice of wearing a man's dress, being always among men, than to have a woman's dress. I have resumed it because a promise made to me has not been.
How is he?
Hour 3, doing well.
Are we still in 18th century Hungary?
No. His connection is so stable, he's jumped between a few ancestors today. We're in 15th century France now. Turns out he's related to one of Joan of Arc's executioners.
Surprise.
Eileen, yesterday Vidic asked me to help him work out some of the bugs in his audiovisual renderer, and I told him...
No. Come on, Satish, not you.
It wouldn't be permanent. A few months at most.
Months? That will kill every ounce of momentum we have.
It won't, I promise. Honestly, I think this could help us. If I can get a look at what these people are doing, we could...
Come on. He's trying to pull you over to his side. Don't you see that? He's luring you with quick victory and prestige.
That's not what this is about, honestly.
I need to get back to work.
Eileen, I'm sorry.
Do what you must. I'll survive.
Surrogate Initiative, Test Session 32, April 2nd, 1981. Host Eileen Bach. DNA sample SV1970.
Miriam, are you awake?
What?
Miriams are coming for me.
Who is the guards?
I see them from my window, massing in the courtyard. My time is up.
Bartle, don't say this. You don't know that.
Forgive me for this, Miriam. But I must tell you something. The artifact. We have it. But only Oscar and I know its location.
Don't tell me.
They will release you. Your family has connections. You must take the artifact and bring it to the assassins in Paris.
Please don't. I don't want to know. It's safer if I don't.
Hush now. If I die, knowledge of its location dies with me. You must bring it to the assassins.
Assassins? I don't understand.
The spire of St. Petrus.
No, I don't want to hear.
Cell 7!
Hello?
Eileen, hi. It's Carl.
Carl, I know it's you.
Sorry, you just sound exhausted. Did I wake you?
No, I've just been busy.
It sounds like it.
I'm just a little tired, that's all.
No, I mean, your project sounds fascinating. Your colleague, Dr. Warren Vidic, he called me recently and he told me what you've been up to.
He what? Warren?
Yeah, he told us about your research, memories, ancestry, all of that. He even asked if we'd be willing to come in and...
No! Jesus, no! What the hell is he doing?
Eileen, it's okay. We signed some papers, non-disclosure stuff.
No! He's trying to fuck me over! Damn it!
Eileen, we just talked about my mother, just like you and I did. World War II. That's all.
It's the artifact.
The what?
Carl, if he calls you again, you tell him you work through me, okay? That's it. Vidic has been a pain in my ass for years, and I don't need him getting all the glory for my 2 years of hard work.
All right. So how should I go about this? I mean, the wheels are in motion.
I don't know. Just go through me if he contacts you again. Please?
All right.
You'll do that?
Of course. Yes.
Thank you, Carl. I'm sorry I was short with you. I've just been exhausted. That's all.
It's all right, hon. Just take care of yourself.
Morning, Eileen. We're almost ready. Just a few more adjustments.
Okay.
I had the team do some research on this artifact we've been chasing, and it appears the Third Reich actually found something matching its description sometime in 1940. Eileen, are you all right?
Sorry, yeah. I'm fine. Just a little scattered. Vidic called my ex-husband last night. He wants to put him in the Animus.
To find the artifact before us?
Exactly.
Well, it would be fast using Vidic's Animus. And maybe that would get us back to our original work.
Satish, if we let that happen, then all our money dries up. Lillian is paying for us to find the artifact, not improve our methods. Do you understand?
Right, of course.
I'm sorry. Let's just burn those bridges when we cross them. Are we ready?
Yes, just a few more adjustments, Senorian. I made a small change to the genetic input modulator. I'm hoping that buys us a few more minutes.
Even a few seconds would be nice. I'm ready.
All right. Settle in.
Okay, it's been a few weeks since the last recording. Sorry about that. Of course, I guess it's just a few seconds for you. I'll leap down the playlist. Anyway, I was talking about Clay. Casmerica, subject 16. So, when I fell into a coma back in Italy and woke up in the Animus Black Room, it was, so calming. It felt like I had woken up into a dream. Haze. A dream where none of this mess had ever happened. Felt like I should just be getting ready for another day of pouring drinks at bad weather and another day of complaining about being between girlfriends and wondering what the hell to do with myself. But when I saw Clay just sitting there, it started to come back, piece by piece. And when he told me about Lucy, fuck, it hurt. Realizing that I killed her without thinking or feeling anything. Not at the time, anyway. Well, then things just kept piling on. There were more memories of Ezio and Altair and the first civilization. And then, right before he vanished, Clay passed on his memories to me. He showed me everything he had seen and lived through, and it was brief, but overwhelming. Not really sure how to explain. He saw glimpses of Adam and Eve and their escape from slavery. He saw the beginning and the end of the war between the first Civ and humans. He saw Minerva, Juno, and Tinia trying to work out their calculations. At least that's what they called them. They had these tools, these powerful machines that could predict possible futures. Not what was going to happen, but what could happen. Probabilities. And, well, they spent a lot of energy trying to figure out what was the most likely scenario for the future. Theirs and ours. And in the end, I guess they figured I was their most likely candidate. Some guy named Desmond living at the beginning of the 21st century of the Common Era. But which Desmond was the right one? Because, you see, probability is a weird thing. It can branch out in so many ways. Which version of me did they need? Was it the Desmond who got married early and had a son? One who stayed single in New York? Or was it the Desmond who moved to San Francisco to be a waiter? Maybe it was the Desmond who worked at an auto body shop in Chicago, or maybe it was the me who never ran away from his parents in the first place. First Civ had countless variations to choose from, but in the end, the lucky one was me. I'm the Desmond their best calculations spit out. I'm the Desmond they left their messages for, and I guess I have to live with that honor. What an honor. Pretty tired. There'll be more later. Ciao.
researchers looked into the life of Altair Ibn Lahed, hoping to find a biography that might serve as a positive role model for Abstergo's global outreach programs. Unfortunately, this renegade assassin proved to be no such thing. In much of his footage, we see a man gleefully flouting some of his culture's most entrenched taboos with an arrogance that borders on messianic.
Altair, no! This is not our way! To burn a man's body is forbidden!
Many of our researchers felt that the arguments articulated by Altair's rival, a man known as Abbas, were clearer and more cogent than any we heard from Altair. I've recently put in a request that more effort be dedicated to locating one of Abbas's descendants, if any exist. It's clear to us that Altair's transgressions were the primary motivation behind the ultimate dissolution of his despicable order by the middle of the 13th century. We therefore strongly recommend a pass on this property, in favor of a more agreeable and inspiring figure from this era.
Timestamp August 16th, 2013. The following audio clips were selected from over 160 hours of reel-to-reel tape found in the residence of the late Dr. Warren Vidic following his murder in December 2012. According to labels on the tape's canisters, these recordings were made over a 14-month period between 1980 and 1981 without the consent of their primary subject, Mrs. Eileen Bach, a colleague of Dr. Vidic's and the originator of Abstergo's surrogate initiative. Mrs. Bach is now deceased. It should be stated unequivocally that Dr. Vidic made these recordings illegally and of his own volition using wiretaps and hidden microphones. Abstergo Industries had no knowledge of his actions and disavows any responsibility for them.
And we're live. Capacitors at full. Ease the signal in. A little more. You feel anything?
Don't be timid. Double it.
No, we're taking it easy. 20%.
30.
Eileen, go easy. We're 6 past yesterday.
And boost the inputs.
Too risky.
Not if we split the I.O. signals.
25%. Ease up.
Oh, okay. There. I see something.
What is it?
Mein Gott. I hear talking.
You're okay?
Ja, ich höre Stimmen. It's German. Mein Name ist Miriam Kurz. I see a light. It's cold. Ich werde nichts sagen. There's a man with me. Mehr werde ich nicht sagen.
Keep an eye on our vitals.
Mein Name ist Miriam Kurz und ich bin eine Navajo. Des Hitlers Zwang, der macht uns klein. Noch liegen wir in Ketten. Doch einmal werden wir wieder frei. Wir werden die Ketten schon brechen.
Eileen?
Denn unsere Fäuste, die sind hart, ja. Und die Messer sitzen lose. Für die Freiheit der Jugend kämpfen Navajos.
Switch off.
Powering down.
Kämpft Navajos.
Get Peralto there. Oxygen from the valve.
No. No, Satish, I'm fine, really.
Quit the heroics. Just breathe. Better?
Yes, thank you. Did we get something?
It'll take a while to parse. What did you see?
It wasn't just seeing. It was feeling. Being. I was scared.
You were shouting in German?
I think I was in Germany. I was in Germany, Satish.
Good morning. Well rested?
Exhausted. Yesterday was an incredible find.
Seems so. What did it feel like?
It's foggy, but I relived the memories of a young German woman. Early 20s, I think. A man was interrogating me, looming over me and asking questions. He was shouting, but I was shouting back. And then this poem just came out, like a chant.
Fascinating. I'm eager for you to hear the tape.
Is it ready?
Yes, we transliterated the data onto an audio file. It took all night to process the language.
Spool it up.
Of course. Have a seat. Judging by the subject matter and the setting, I'd say you landed somewhere in Germany in the 1940s, 1 or 2 generations back. During the war, I'd imagine.
1940s Germany? That would be Miriam Kurtz, my ex-husband's mother.
So she's not really...
God, I hope not. I'd hate to find out my ex-husband is also my brother.
Well, if it was Miriam Kurtz, then we hit a home run. You tapped into someone else's bloodline entirely.
Should we celebrate?
We'll listen first.
Surrogate Initiative, Test Session 23, July 29th, 1980. Host, Eileen Bach. DNA sample SB1970.
It's a little garbled at first. This is you settling into the memory.
Your name, say it.
My name is Miriam Kurtz.
Louder.
My name is Miriam Kurtz, and I am Navajo.
Where did you last see the artifact? Who holds it now?
I'll say nothing. I have told you all I will.
I don't believe that is true. Who has the artifact?
Hitler's dictates make us small, and are bound in chains. But one day again, we shall walk tall. No binds will us restrain.
Enough!
For hard our fists, yes, and the knives at our wrists for you to be free. Navajos lay siege.
Lock her away.
Navajos lay siege.
And that's where we pull you out.
Whoa. What would it take to get a visual render of all that?
months, unfortunately. It took 13 hours just to process the audio. Visual takes much longer.
But Vidic is able to record audio and visual in real time. How does he do it?
His subjects are exploring their own genetic memories. That requires much less processing power.
Hold on, sorry. Eileen here.
Hello. You have 10 o'clock in Lillian's office. It's 10:13 now.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry. Tell her I'll be right there. And tell her we have some good news.
No problem.
You in trouble?
The monthly progress report. I'm trying to be honest about our progress, but no matter how much I polish our facts, Warren Vidic swoops in, promising the moon for pennies, and gets 10 times the funding for his Animus project.
Well, we are using his Animus technology. He's the foundation. We are the skyscraper.
Which is why he should be a tech lead, not a project director. Good work, Satish.
It's incredible footage, really. Clear and vivid. And the subject was synced for a full 62 minutes. Came out speaking French after his last session. Passably fluent. And with full recall of everything he'd gone through.
Sorry I'm late. I was reviewing some data.
It's fine. Warren was just telling me about his first subject. Mr.
No names. Call him Subject 1. Confidentiality.
And how about you, Eileen? What's your good news?
Well, we did it. We synced with an unembedded memory outside the bloodline. That's a first.
Really?
Satish was able to process the audio today. A short clip. You can hear it for yourself.
Only audio? No real-time memory feeds like Vidic has?
Well, that's the difficulty with surrogate genetic memory data. Because I'm viewing memories not embedded in my own DNA, we can't rely on my cognitive faculties to help me process the signal. All we can do is record the raw data and transliterate it later.
Hold on. You're running this experiment on yourself?
I am. It's going well.
I don't like the sound of that.
Look, the sample I'm using, the DNA comes from my own son. It's safer this way.
Ah, good thinking.
50% of my son's DNA is also mine, which reduces the danger by a huge margin. Meaning, I can now explore the memories of people who aren't directly related to me on his father's side.
But for brief periods of time, I imagine.
Right. Just a minute or two so far, but we're getting there. Come by the lab and listen for yourself.
I will, when I have a moment. Unfortunately, work beckons. Ladies?
That man is colder than a San Francisco summer.
Stay focused, Eileen. You both have important work to do.
Obviously. But my work requires his Animus technology. I feel a little caged in.
That's collaboration, Eileen. It's how science works. I shouldn't have to remind you.
I know. I'm just tired. Stop by and see us today. We have a lot to share.
If not today, then this week sometime.
Thank you.
Initial reports on Aveline de Grand Prix led us to believe she would be too controversial and impulsive to appeal to a wide audience. Teenage memories show her brainwashed and trained to kill political foes of her highly unstable mentor, Agate. Additionally, Aveline spent a disappointing amount of time in the Louisiana bayou, consorting with smugglers of the lowest kind.
Oh, I try never to think.
Which we felt risked her appeal to our female audience, which is now approaching 50%. However, as Aveline matured, a new side emerged. A well-mannered and considerate lady of poise and compassion, Aveline came to embrace a new mentor, her stepmother, Madeleine Delisle, a tireless fighter for the rights of slaves.
Thank you, Madeleine.
With some editing to prioritize this relationship, we feel Aveline's story will more than meet our needs. Our team recommends a go on this property. Get this one to market quickly.
Surrogate Initiative, Test Session 32, January 11th, 1981. Host Eileen Bach, DNA sample SB1970.
Miriam? Miriam, is that you? Are you in here?
Bartle!
Oh, thank God you're safe. You've been worried sick.
Bartle, how did they find you? Oh, Jesus, what would they do to you?
Has they hurt you at all?
I told them nothing. All they do every day is ask about you and that artifact. But I didn't tell them anything. Nothing.
I know you didn't, Miriam. But how are you? You aren't hurt?
Not badly, no. I'm fine.
Good. We need to get the message out to Oscar. Somehow. We need to tell him where...
Very interesting footage, Eileen. This is Germany, you said. World War II?
Most of the memories I've been able to access come from a period where Miriam was imprisoned by Nazis in Cologne.
Miriam. Is she still alive?
No, she was my ex-husband's mother. She passed away about 5 years ago.
Well, she was spirited. An impressive lady.
Definitely.
And the man, Bartle. He made reference to an artifact. Any idea what that is?
My team is looking into that, but it's not our first priority. We still need...
It is now.
Really?
You must have other recordings of this woman. Are there any other mentions of this artifact I should know about?
Half a dozen or so, yes. What's this about?
You have questions, I understand that.
I don't have answers for you. Not right now, but I do have money. And if you get me those recordings and bring me any other artifact references you find, then I will triple your operating budget for as long as I can.
Triple my budget? My God, what is this?
9 a.m. Monday morning, my office. We have a lot to discuss.
But Lillian, I don't...
Have a good weekend, Mrs. Bach. Fantastic work.
Hello, this is Carl.
Hi, it's Eileen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Busy. Cold. The winter's been terrible.
Seamus won't like that. The weather's been mild out here.
Well, he's only coming for a month. He'll live. And I'll be so busy he won't have to worry about his mother bothering him.
Still working 12-hour days.
I should move a bed into my lab.
Look, if you're too busy, Seamus can stay with me.
No, I want to see him. We'll have fun.
You're not too busy to be a mom and a genius.
Of course not.
His flight lands at 8:15 p.m. tomorrow night. You'll be there?
Of course. 8:15.
p.m. Let him know you'll be there.
Thanks, Carl. I need to run. I'm sorry. Take care.
You too.
Eileen. Didn't see you come in.
I'm not interrupting?
No, it's fine. The subject is unconscious. He's traipsing around 18th century New Orleans right now, in the memories of a woman.
That must feel odd. How long has he been under?
83 minutes.
Whoa.
It's average. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to thank you for sending Lillian to see me. She came away very impressed.
There. You see, all these bureaucrats need is a little glimpse of our secrets every so often. They like to feel like they're still in charge.
Lillian is most definitely in charge. She just tripled my budget.
Tripled? Christ, Eileen. You must have discovered who killed Kennedy.
Well, she heard something on one of my tapes that interested her. Something about an artifact. Very vague, but it was enough.
An artifact? What sort of artifact? Jesus, get him out of there! Get him out!
Oh my God.
It'll kill him! He's not decoupled! He's having a fucking seizure! Power down! Now!
Heart rate 170!
Power down! Now! Eileen, Warren here. I was all ready to apologize for the late call, but you seem to be away. Maybe with your son. Listen. Since the unfortunate incident with Subject 1, there's been a lot of dire talk around the office about my Animus project. About shutting it down. About it being unsafe. Typical top brass bullshit. And if they shut me down, then your surrogate initiative goes away too. I'm sure you're already well aware of that. Well, let me be the first to reassure you. This will not happen. I will not let them take this from me. From us. I will not let one death, of an undiagnosed epileptic, I should add. I will not let this destroy the decades of incredible research done by our predecessors. And the 5 years I've spent perfecting the Animus. There's still more work to be done. And countless rewards to be reaped. So I wanted you to be the first to know. I have decided to volunteer myself as my second subject. I am convinced that the Animus is perfectly safe, provided I stay within the boundaries of my own ancestral bloodline. Next week I plan to prove this by staying a full 4 hours in the Animus. I would be grateful if you and your team would monitor my progress. And after this necessary but ridiculous proof of concept, I give you my word that I will work closely with you to solve your outstanding problems. Your surrogate initiative is a bold idea, and I do believe it is the future of the Animus project. But while we have the Animus itself, I do not want to waste precious opportunities to prove its safety. I'll see you in the office on Monday. Goodbye.
That's enough to trigger. You need to be cautious. There's always a danger.
Pierre handed in his notice this morning. This new security measure is freaking people out.
They won't let him go. It's part of our contract. Having ultra-high security clearance means you have to go through a whole debriefing process. It takes months.
Really? I had no idea.
Read the fine print, man. Working for Abstergo has its benefits, but there's some drawbacks too. Big ones.
Oh, yeah.
I just feel like someone's watching.
What's with all these security notices I'm seeing lately?
Just a standard message we use on occasion. Nothing to worry about. We've just had some issues around the office lately.
Like server security issues? Because these notices seem pretty severe. Like draconian, actually.
No, it's nothing to worry about, really. Walk with me and I'll explain.
Hey, thanks for sharing the white whale data with me. I was able to track it down myself. No problem, man. It's amazing, right? Yeah, I tracked it down as soon as I saw your message. Followed it for a while. Couldn't catch it, though.
Yeah. He was killed. Shot in the chest multiple times. No, that shouldn't be a problem. We collected more than enough data. We'll know soon enough, but... Alright, I can send you the results as soon as possible. Okay. Any word on Olivier? Damn it. God, I'm worried sick. Yeah. Alright. Thanks, Letitia. Bye.
Surrogate Initiative, Test Session 37, August 9th, 1981. Host Eileen Bach, DNA sample SB1970.
Open! Good morning, Miss Kurtz. You look well, considering the circumstances. Are you rested? Have you eaten? Your friends are dead, Miriam. Bartel Schink and all his navios, his Edelweiss pirates. Executed for 5 counts of murder.
Without a trial. You must be proud.
There was no need! They were scum! All of them! You hear me? All of you are scum! Scum! Scum!
I see it so clearly now. She didn't break, did they? You have nothing.
Quiet, girl!
You don't have the artifact. If you did, you wouldn't be talking to me at all. Never use Lacey!
I said
never use Lacey! Never use Lacey!
Eileen, open your eyes. Can you hear me? Eileen! Eileen!
Power's off! Get the position in here! Step aside, son!
Eileen, talk to me. Can you open your eyes?
Clear!
Oh, God.
No response.
All right. Notes towards a speech in honor of Dr. Eileen Bach's premature retirement. When I first learned of Dr. Bach's unfortunate accident, I couldn't help but feel a great sense of loss at... No. Dr. Eileen Bach has and always will be a friend and colleague. When I first learned of her unfortunate accident, I was shocked, of course. To see any friend injured in such a way is deeply upsetting. And to further learn that her injuries were severe enough to force a premature conclusion to her brilliant career, well, I would not wish that fate on anyone. But if there is any solace to be found in her accident, it may be this: that she was injured in service of her research, in service of work that she cherished most dearly. And it is thanks to her, it is due to her diligence, that some of the mysteries of genetic memory have been further illuminated. And while it is true that work on her project, the Surrogate Initiative, as she called it, has been temporarily halted, the copious amount of work she has done over the past 3 years has been incredibly valuable. So while her work has been suspended for the time being, her legacy will most certainly live on. Quiet, Joan! Quiet!
We are attempting to synchronize the DDS system. This will only take a moment. We are almost there. The DDS is now in sync. Thank you for your patience. We hope you enjoy your experience. Rudolf II invited many notable figures to his court, making Prague the center of European culture. Among them were Englishman Edward Kelly and his stepdaughter, Elizabeth Jane Weston. Observe her and report any alleged collusion.
February 12, 1981. Qualitative personal interview with Subject 1 on Ancestry.